this is Midtown, and this was Dreamland's pick. Dreamland putting on their Geeky impression. Yeah, they are. Let's see how well it works this time around. Let's look at the bans as well, just because I'm quite interested. What are the bans here? Lucio and Freya. Okay, got it. I wish my overlay here would show bans on it as well. That would be a cool thing to add, I think. But yeah, Lucio and Freya. The Lucio ban was likely from Dreamland. That was the first ban. The Freya ban was the second ban. So it was the Freya that was banned by Dildox. Okay. This map might have inspired the Weaver ban in their rematch. Yeah. In their rematch, I think, was it the Ducks who picked Midtown? I don't exactly remember, but you know, here the Weaver is protect banned, so it's impossible to ban it because of the Lucio ban, but I'm not sure. I don't remember how that match exactly went. Okay, the Weaver is set up on this top left. All right. How do we do this? All right, pedal in the bottom left here. Again, Weaver is all about playing second, about extending the length of a fight, not necessarily winning a fight. You win fights by your opponent making mistakes. The Tracer is going to come up here and try and shoot the Weaver a bit, but I don't think that makes a big difference. I think that's too aggressive of a move from the Tracer. I think Razor should focus on obtaining positioning more than just, like, shooting the Weaver, right? And then, yeah, that's this left side here. Baz taking so much damage on the Orisa, too. And Narwhal's just back here kind of chilling. Dion's going to sit up there as long as he can on the ram and kind of anchor it. There was a version of this composition that was played with the SIG that was used by Energy Shock a little while back. I think the problem with that composition in particular was the fact that SIG is a little worse at anchoring and holding a choke than ram is, especially when having frontline pressure is just so important. The SIG would be better, but only if your opponent... So this is actually interesting. The ram makes it a bit more balanced, but like the SIG would be better against those comps that a team might try and play against the Weaver comp to like play for range damage. We're talking like, you know, the Hanzo counter stuff, that kind of stuff. I think that's where it's more useful. And like, you know, double flex support and all that. SIG, I'm making a video on SIG right now, and I'm going to talk a ton about how like his specialty is against a ton of range damage. If he's not up against that, there's really no reason to play it. But I think the problem is then your opponent can say, well, what if we just don't worry about the Lifeweaver and just like continually shoot the SIG? So it's interesting. It's an interesting problem, but I think like the SIG is still just too counterable at the end of the day. Dreamland banned Ori first in their rematch. Okay, interesting. Didn't protect the Weaver. Okay, so yeah, we do have our Tracer focusing on positioning here. Razor forces the immortality field at a Hanbei. You can see that happen here. So Hanbei's over on the left side in an aggressive position. You want your back in an aggressive position when you're playing the Weaver comp. Forces the immortality, but Talisman just gets a trade on the Red X. Red X just pushed too far forward. Also, for Dildox here, I think they would benefit from a Kiriko rather than a Brig. I don't think there's a reason to really have the Brig, and I also think Ana here would be a really good way, like an Ana Kiriko. Well, even with the Orisa, it sounds a little weird, but it gives you like more range damage. It lets you like throw cooldowns onto the ram to like force the pull and things like that out of the Weaver team. I think it's a better backline for just like basically poking out the Weaver comp, because that's how you kind of counter it. But I do think Ana Kiri is like a potential solution here, because it's not like your Ana is going to get run over or anything. Your Ana's kind of free to do what she wants to do. But yeah, Redix walking in there. Redix shouldn't be there. And I think the Brig in general is going to struggle, because like you're just not going to be able to get anywhere. PDK trades Hanbei, though. Okay. Go back to Narwhal POV here. Look at what this looks like here. Okay. Put a killing into Dion. And, okay. Dildox on the high ground now. Oh, Redix is over to Kiriko. Okay, there you go. There's the swap. PDK kills manually as well. Narwhal's gonna pull Dion out of there. And then the re-engage with Tree. I think here, you re-engage with Tree, you try your best to win this, because either way you swap off of Weaver. Oh, okay, that was close. Oh, wait. Okay, Narwhal almost lives there, but there's the overclock out of manually on the side. It's actually going to get a lot of value, too. Oh, this is really winnable, actually. Wow, look at that. Dreamland win that fight. Great re-engage. Weaver really does make things last forever. What could be done on the side of the Ducks to maybe not let that same thing happen? Okay, Talisman is over on that angle there. PDK and Frothy feel like kind of stacked. Baz is too far up. Baz is trying to shove here. Goes in super, super far. I feel like this is kind of risky. Takes a good bit of damage with Terra Surge. And forced to Terra Surge in an awkward spot when the Sojourn comes out. I think if Baz is able to get on top of this BAP Sojourn instead of the Weaver, then you have a lot more success here. I think you let the Weaver kind of walk out and tree, and then you just focus the other people, you know? That's my idea. I don't know if that's the best possible idea, but I think that's the most valuable thing you could go for. And then Red's taken down. PDK is going to go for the super late overclock, and I think this is a waste of an overclock too. At least you get Annihilation out of Dion, but I don't think that's worth it. Because now you have 0 ults, and you have 1 minute 30 seconds left of your Dilducks. Hanbei is going to have the window. Narwhal sitting up right on this high ground again. Just chilling. Again, the BAP on the right angle. I like the positioning here. The Tracer as well. It's a 3-2 split. These two, these three.
60 seconds.
Oh, and manually just gets a kill on the Razor. Okay, you shut that down before it even starts. I also don't know. Why is the BAP on an angle here? Why is Frothy Philly over here and then, like, Baz is here? Shouldn't Frothy Philly on the BAP be with the Orisa? Why is the BAP the one on the angle? I think that's a little strange to me, but now, yeah, Dion's gonna have to back off a little bit with the immortality feel, but, you know, just gonna get pulled out, it's all good. Alright, Tracer and Kiriko should be able to set up an angle here. What are Dilducks doing? Are we gonna... You gotta clear the BAP here. You gotta clear this angle, this space before you do anything here. Here's the thing, okay? I think, realistically, you ignore all of this. You just go this, and then Baz, like, just, like, live the best you can and prevent the Ram from walking on your team, right? The Orisa. I really think, though, like, just getting rid of this BAP, everyone should be focused on that. Like, where is Baz going? Oh, we've just been baited. We're split, too. So you're split between this, like, BAP Tracer angle and trying to attack the Weaver and the Sojourn. I think this is going to go quite poorly. Hanbei's going to drop the window here in this angle as well. Oh, still going to die, though. I mean, it's good punish. But it just feels like it's a little rough around the edges right now. You do have the Weaver comp in a position where it has to re-engage, though, which is uncomfortable for the Weaver comp. Oh, Narwhal just kind of walked into that. Okay. I think Dilducks do manage to make it the second point, but that looked like it might not have worked for a moment. I think if Dreamland definitely could have won that fight if they had, like, if they were able to keep Hanbei alive there. Maybe Hanbei backs off a bit earlier, but like, as long if Hanbei were able to live on the angle, which I think Hanbei should have been able to, then that could have gone very differently. Narwhal is staying Weaver now. This is something that I kind of disagree with, but we'll see what they make happen with it. Window from Frothy Philly, just AFK. Yep. Just do nothing. Chat. So that's why you do nothing. Oh. Yeah. It happens. Happens. Alright, Talisman angle, ready for the balls. Well, the Weaver's dead. How are Dreamland gonna deal with that? They're gonna push in, they're gonna use their overclock. Okay. Why are we overclocking in a tiny room with an Orisa? What is happening here? Holy shit, what is happening in this room? God damn. Okay. Okay, our Weaver is gonna be back. Oh. Okay, pull the Baptiste out. Try and, like, stabilize. I guess Dreamland do stabilize. They need to stop cart, though. Because that's what their comp is kind of built to do. They kind of need to stop cart earlier, unfortunately, you know. Yeah, they're gonna have to back off, I think, here. Oh. Why are... We hear overclock and we're like, okay, let's just pedal up into overclock line of sight and just throw down the tree in your face. This is aura. This is aura. Just like, here, have a tree. Just hearing the overclock and be like, okay. Like, there's not even anybody up there. Well, the enemy team's up there, but like, it's like we're Maywalling the overclock. Who is that? Who's using this? Who's using this? Dion's trying to get up there, but the Orisa's body blocking. Okay. That was an interesting tree. Narwhal is just... This hero is something else. This hero is something else. Alright, pretty good angle here onto the bus thingy here. That's actually a nice place to be. Why are we going shield into Weaver? Okay, this is legitimately very confusing why we're going shield. I don't understand this because yes, you're on a slow comp, but here's the thing, you want range to be like poke out your opponent. And you know, we've seen it from Infected too. Infected runs spear into the Weaver compositions. I agree with Infected. I absolutely agree with Infected when it comes to running the spear. I don't like having shield here if you're Bess. I don't see the use in having shield. I don't know who's really going to be using this too. I mean, I guess in a slower fight, a shield does get value. But, I don't know. I just think having that charged javelin is nice. Having the spin is nice as well to, like, reposition. I don't know. I guess there's an argument for it. I can see how there would be an argument for it in a slower fight, but I disagree with it. Oh, okay. Hanbei just got, like, pulled into a fence. Did not work out. Okay. 40 seconds left. Oh, do they actually hold second here? They might. Okay. Good damage. Dion's so far forward. This is a purposeful pull there. Now that's like, okay. People say that, and in this case it kind of worked, okay? People say that you can use grip offensively, and this is how they say it, okay? So Dion, do you see how Dion's up here, chat? Dion will surely die here, except for the fact that we have a Lifeweaver who's gonna pull, okay? This is one of those situations where you're abusing pull to play forward. People say, okay, well then Lifeweaver can play first, right? Lifeweaver can play super aggressive. Not really. This is bait. This is bait. I do not think that, I really do not think that, you're not going to get a kill here if you're Dion unless Dilducks really mess up, right? I think that's a fair thing to say. Especially because the rest of, if you look at Dreamland, so you see where Dion is? Where Dion's fighting over this area? Like, the rest of Dreamland can't see that easily. You're not looking for kills here. You're looking for bait. But what happens here is you do get that. And this is like it's almost a defensive move, kind of. You're baiting, and then Redix is like, oh, look at the Ramatra there. Free candy. Let's Kitsune. Oh, shit. They pulled him out. That's what this is meant for, right? It does not get kills. You know? You get cooldowns. You might get the immortality. I feel like you don't. It might be, but like the Kitsune is the big thing here. And then you just pull the Ramatra out, and it's like, it doesn't really kill anything, right? And it shouldn't kill anything, but it baits. And you know what baiting is, chat? It's playing second. Baiting in general is playing second. That's baiting at its finest, right? that was still playing second. It doesn't like look like it maybe, but even the way people think that Weaver's used aggressively, that's really just baiting. That's trying to get a little reaction out of your opponent when you're really not actually a threat to them. Because of your positioning there. Okay. Dion's like so far forward. Okay, the solo annihilation to run here. I don't mind this. I don't mind this. And then where's Narwhal? Up here on the pedal. I like this. And then switching. I like this idea of having a pedal here and then switching over here. This is interesting. And then you have like a line of sight on the high ground from both. That might be like a fundamental part of playing Lifeweaver on the second point if you're going to do it, if you're going to try and make it happen. And then Dion's just going to like try and go for a solo kill here. Now here, this is actual aggression from the Weaver composition, and it's off vaults really. Talisman hits a good pulse too. Wow. Oh, in the corner there. Now that worked pretty well. I mean, you play second to start the fight, and then you push back in after your opponent uses a bunch of stuff. I think that's yeah, that's not a bad way to play that at all. That's pretty much what you got to do with Weaver. But I love how they baited the Kitsune from Red X. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Didn't Dildux win the first map-wise Dreamland up one? Oh, that is true. It must be a glitch with the overlay. So, now we have Dreamland on their attack, and they want to run this hazard. And we've actually seen this from them before. We've seen a good bit of it in promotion relegation. It's not seeing the wrong set. This is the correct set. It's the overlay's bugged. This is a known issue with this overlay. We've seen this from Dreamland before. They like to play the Juno Kiriko. They like to play the hazard with this, and specifically on this map. That greedy kind of double flex backline. That means that Razor on the Tracer, more pressure on Razor to kind of like deal damage to the Juno and the Kiriko, particularly. Again, I keep talking about it a lot, but forcing the Kiriko cooldowns is your first priority. Look at that. Talisman forcing all the cooldowns at a Razor, so Razor can't really do much more, and then Hanbei is going to swing around pretty aggressively. The Juno and the Sojourn playing together. Very, very fast move from Dreamland to kind of take this space. Hold on from Talisman. Now Hanbei, okay, there's the TP forced out by Razor. So Razor does get that. Dion has to back off a bit. Now it's a Talisman versus Razor duel on the side here. Okay, Talisman. Can you get rid of Razor? That's the big question, because that is how you let your Juno Kiriko back on walk. No, instead we're going to switch back. And I guess that works if the immortality never comes down. Okay, manually just finishes the kill. Hanbei actually TP's in. How did Hanbei get back there? Interesting. Okay. TP in. Well, there you go. The Kiriko does eventually die, but okay, it's winnable for both teams. PDK's back there. Razor's also a threat. Ooh, it's a little awkward. Dion needs help here. Big help. PDK finishes that kill. Yeah. Late fight, that Juno Kiriko. The Kiriko, very vulnerable, you know, you see. Once the cooldowns are out, hey, you're done. You're dead. Hanbei's back. We'll pay attention to Hanbei here and Talisman as well, because this Tracer duel is very, very, very important. Ooh, a slash from Baz to try and pressure that. The Kiriko Tracer angle. Clear Razor even more. Okay, Hanbei's gonna TP in. Get a little bit of poke. Possible. And now, you know, at this point, Dreamland have more of the pie. It's like, how can we re-engage? How can we take some more? Razor's set up here. I like that Razor still has positioning in the back for an angle. Maybe can follow up on something from Baz here. Let's look at Razor. This is the re-engage now from build-outs. Ooh, okay, Juno low. Baz actually kind of like a solo kill, basically. And then the Sojourn super, super low. PK gets that. Okay, great re-engage from build-outs. Talisman still gets Red X, though. And you still have Hanbei alive over here as well. Maybe deal some damage. Gets behind the wall. Suzu onto Dion. I think you're going off Kitsune. Yep, there we go. Off the high ground. Now, again, re-engage here. Now from Dreamland. It's their turn. It's a back and forth. It's a back and forth. It's an ebb and flow. I mean, this is the ebb and flow of Overwatch in action, basically. And now immediately, you know, there's the reaction from Dildux to try and keep holding on with the window. The down forward to completely zone it, and boom. Got it. I want to look at Talisman that entire fight, actually, because I think Talisman pretty much had a perfect performance throughout this entire fight here. Let's take a look at this. We had a bit of a reset here. Okay. Let's look at this again, because again, it's about control over this left side. I think this is a pretty important Tracer moment here. Talisman played great this series. Talisman's kind of crazy on the Tracer, right? You dodge that slash there, you get the mini. And you're going to keep going into the left side to mark the Tracer. Razor's kind of scared there, backs off a little bit. Marking the Tracer allows your backline to walk in a little easier. We're going to continue to pressure how we can. And then being really reactive to the hazard, right? Because that's the easiest, closest target. I like the focus there. Switch back around to the Brig. Pulse Bomb perfectly placed. Damage onto the Tracer. Yeah. Switching off the hazard once the hazard was no longer a valid target, you know? Like, you almost kill Baz, you don't get it when you switch to the Brig, and I like that. And then when the Kitsune comes down here, you come from the side. And you're focused on the Sojourn, which is like perfect here. And that's exactly lined up with what your hazard is looking at. And now the Haz. Very viable target. With the downpour. Go even further, get the bat. Wow. There you go. It's that final kill for good measure. Oh, what a point from Talisman. That's good. That's what you want to look for. Oh, gets another too. Stagger pick too. Alright, Talisman's gonna back into the right side here. Pulse Bomb. And then, oh, manually just gets picked off, guys. Here you're gonna have your Tracer kind of like force under a little bit, maybe go into that right side. That right side and cart is your home, underneath and right side. Pulse Bomb's ready. What is Red X doing on Weaver? What the hell is Red X doing on Weaver? Oh, I'm not sure, but yeah, trying to go into the right side. Oh, Razor did a great job there, chat, of just completely marking out Talisman. That was all Razor. Look at that. You prevent that angle. Boom. Beautiful. Wow. Okay. And yeah, this should be a fight win. Should be for Dreamland? No, never mind. Okay, manually just kills two. That shit happens, I guess. Damn, Red X just dies. Did Red X do the same thing? Oh no, Red X did the same thing that Narwhal did, didn't he? Oh. Okay. There you go. Bounced off the Haswell, yeah. Damn, okay. Get out of my lobby. Get out of my lobby. Alright, Talisman is pulse. I would like to think that Talisman hits a 10-man pulse here. Good enough. 10-man pulse, 100 hazard HP, there's basically no difference. I can't see the difference. And then Lifeweaver tree just gets shredded. Red X was so far in. But it's still winnable for, yeah, PDK might actually just carry this here. Hold on. Oh, good window as well.
This is restricted airspace.
And then go into there. Okay.
Good to see you.
Dreamland. They're back in. Okay, let's take a look here. No ults for Dildux. This is gonna be a fight for sure. I mean, it's just like, how do you deal with overclock and downpour here? And then I think it's like overclock first, and then we're gonna see Dion kind of come in with the downpour. Talisman should probably set up for this as well. Like, try and get in to the left side.
It's go time.
Oh no, Dion's just gonna go straight in. Dion is not fucking around. Do I agree with using everything at once here? Not really. But we'll see. I mean, Frothy Philly gets caught. Oh, Talisman isn't here to follow up, though. But, okay, switched over to Baz. I suppose Baz is the one anchoring point. So, like, the backline is distracted enough as to where Baz can't really get healed up. Kill Razor as well. I suppose that does the job. But I feel like you can, like, overclock first, place pressure, and then, like, go for the downpour after that. Okay, there you go. That's that was map number 2. And that was some interesting Weaver gameplay, for sure, from both teams. The Weaver swap on second is not something I think is really the best of ideas from Dildux, but, you know, it can happen.